You are not lazy. If you were lazy, you would not be here watching this video about how to declutter your house. And I'm betting that this is not the first decluttering video that you've watched. Let's face it, you can watch decluttering videos all day long and you can get great ideas, you can get inspiration, but what you will not get is a decluttered house. Because in order for your own house to get decluttered, you have to take action. I'm going to help you declutter for 1 minute at a time, and by the end of this video, you will be able to see some progress. I love this book, Atomic Habits. In it, the author James Clear says, 1 push-up is better than not exercising. 1 minute of guitar practice is better than none at all. 1 minute of reading is better than never picking up a book. It's better to do less than you hoped than to do nothing at all. So as we go through this video together, I'm going to be reminding you of that. It's better to do less than you had hoped than to do nothing at all. To get started, all you need are 2 things. Something to put your garbage in and something to put your donations in. In a perfect world, you would put your garbage in a black garbage bag. But if you don't have a black garbage bag, just grab whatever you have. It can be a white or clear garbage bag. It can be a grocery sack. It can be a cardboard box. Grab something to hold your garbage. And then you're going to need something to hold your donations. In a perfect world, you would put your donations in a cardboard box that can then be donated. But if you don't have a box for your donations, please don't let that stop you. Just grab another bag. You can have 1 bag for garbage and 1 bag for donations. The point is to get started. Remember, this is about progress, not perfection. While you're grabbing your supplies, I'm going to remind you that we are here to declutter. Not to clean and not to organize. Those are actually 3 separate activities: cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. And we're not doing cleaning, we're not doing organizing, we are just decluttering. A lot of times people get overwhelmed with decluttering, and it's because they make it more complicated than it needs to be. Decluttering is simply the act of deciding what you're keeping and deciding what you're getting rid of, and that is it. So we are just going to be decluttering for 1 minute at a time, and I'm going to walk you through everything, take all the guesswork out of it for you. I'll be keeping time on my cute little timer here for 1 minute for each session that we do together, and I'm going to be calling out categories for you to declutter. But if you don't have anything in that category, so like if I say we're going to go through your Tupperware and you don't have Tupperware to go through, that's okay. You can do something else in your kitchen during that minute. The point is to maintain that forward momentum, and the categories are just a suggestion. So feel free to deviate from the categories, but I will be keeping time for you. We're going to do as much as we can for 1 minute, and then when that timer beeps, we stop and we move on to something else. Now, I can hear you already saying, well, Sheila, I don't want to start it if I can't finish it. If I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. But there is that perfectionistic thinking coming in again, and we want to push that to the side, just get started somewhere. You can always come back and watch the video again if you want to make another pass through your house, but I highly encourage you to keep going and keep moving forward every time the timer beeps, even if you don't feel like you finished that area. So by now you should have something to hold your garbage and something to hold your donations, and we are going to get started in the bathroom. We start in the bathroom because it's the least sentimental place in your house, and it's also the place where you can see some really quick wins and make some great progress. So I'm going to grab my timer and I will meet you in the bathroom. Okay, in the bathroom, we are going to start in the shower area. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and I'm going to talk you through it. So here we go. Got the timer running here, and we are starting in the shower, and the first thing we are looking at is shampoo. Do you have 5 bottles of shampoo and you only use the 1? It's time to let go of the rest. Get all the empty ones out of there, and even if they're not empty, if it's something you don't enjoy using, maybe you bought it and you didn't like it or you don't like the smell, just get it out of there. We are not worried about the money you spent on it. We're not worried about what to do with that bottle right now. The point is to get it out of your shower. Throw it into your garbage bag. Later on, if you want to get it out of the garbage bag and rinse it and recycle it, great. But the point of this exercise is to make quick progress. We're working on the shower, so we are going through things like shampoo bottles, conditioner bottles, bottles of body wash. If you have a sponge or a loofah that you're no longer using, maybe it's seen better days, that goes straight into the trash. You can't donate that. Nobody wants your used loofah, so it's time to let that go. Ditto for razors that have seen better days. Get those out of the shower. We're almost at a minute, if you can believe that. And there's the timer. Okay, staying in the bathroom area, we are going to be looking for body products that you don't keep in the shower. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute while I talk you through what that means. We are looking for expired sunscreen, lotion, deodorant, anything that goes on your body that you don't keep in the shower. That's the area that we're decluttering right now. Sunscreen is really easy because it's got an expiration date right there on the bottle, and if it's expired, get it out of there. Lotion is a little bit trickier. Did you know that lotion also expires? So if you've got all those nice, wonderful, yummy smelling lotions under your sink in the bathroom, and they are old, it's time to get them out of there. Here's how you know that they've expired. There is a little emblem right here on the lotion. You see it says 12M. I don't know if you can see that. That means 12 months. That means that if this lotion has been opened for more than a year, it's old, it's expired, and you get it out of there. So sunscreen, lotion, deodorant, maybe like me, you were on a journey to find the perfect deodorant and you went through a whole bunch of them before you found a good one. So maybe you have like a whole pile of deodorant somewhere in your bathroom, in a drawer, or in a cabinet. Time to let all of that stuff go. Believe it or not, your minute is almost up. We're moving really quickly here. That was the 1 minute mark. Also in the bathroom, the next category is hair stuff. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. We are looking for styling products, things like mousse and gel and hairspray and leave-in conditioner and all that kind of stuff. Is it empty? Is it old? Again, you can check the little thing on here to see, does it have a 12M on it? And if so, and you've had it for more than a year, it's time to let it go. And maybe it's not expired, but maybe you just didn't like it. Maybe you bought a hairspray and you just didn't like the smell of it, or you didn't like the way it worked. Permission to let it go. If you have stretched out hair ties, it's time to let those go too. They're not doing anybody any good. If you have extras of hair styling tools, maybe you have like 3 curling irons and you only use the one, permission to let those extras go. So we're doing anything that has to do with your hair. We got combs and brushes and bobby pins that are bent out of shape. Anything that goes on your hair, we are getting that out of there. If it's something that you are not currently using, we're only keeping stuff that you are currently using. Even if you spent money on it, even if you bought it in the past and you thought you would use it, time to let it go. Okay, that was 1 minute. It's going fast, isn't it? These little 1 minute sessions, they go really fast. Hopefully you're seeing some progress by now. So here's another one for the bathroom. We're going to talk about things that have to do with your teeth. I'm going to set the timer 1 minute. And we are getting rid of toothpaste. If you open that bathroom drawer and way back in the back, there's a bunch of nasty old crusty toothpaste that somebody shoved back there. Or maybe you have toothpaste that no one enjoys using because it's just the flavor was weird. You can let that go. If you have a whole bunch of little sample sizes where you've squeezed most of it out, it's time to just let all of those go. If you have old toothbrushes, you can let those go. If you have a bunch of random flossers that are just kind of thrown into a drawer somewhere, those are not really clean anymore. They've been thrown all around and they're no longer in the bag. It's okay to let those go too. And when you go to the dentist, if your dentist is like mine, you get a little bag of stuff, like you get some coupons and a new toothbrush and some flossers and all these things. And a lot of times that whole bag just gets thrown somewhere in the bathroom. Maybe it's in a drawer or in a cabinet or on a shelf somewhere. Permission to just get rid of the whole bag. Pull out the toothbrush if you want to keep it, but you can get rid of all that other stuff. So we are decluttering anything and everything that has to do with dental products. And that was 1 minute. Okay, the last category that we're going to do in the bathroom is your beauty products. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and I'm going to talk you through it. Here we go. So for beauty products, we're looking at everything like cleanser, serum, eye cream, moisturizer, any sort of like face scrub, all that skincare stuff. Also cosmetics. Maybe you bought some sort of like eyeshadow or mascara and made your eyes itch, or lipstick and you ended up not liking the color, a foundation that looked really cakey on you. Maybe you've got nail polish in there that's all old and crusty. Maybe you've got something that you just didn't like the color, you didn't like the way that it worked for your skin tone. Permission to throw all of that stuff away. I know, I can hear you right now saying, but I spent so much money on it, and I totally get that, but it doesn't serve you to hold on to it if it is not helping you, and especially if it's old, it's time to get it out of there. If you've had it open for more than a year, it's time to let it go. Most people have products in their bathroom that they are not using and loving, and so this is one area where you can really lighten your load and see that immediate difference of getting rid of stuff and clearing it out. You're almost there. 1 minute. Good job. That's it for the bathroom. Now we are going to head to either the bedroom or the closet, wherever you keep your socks. And while you're heading to that area, wherever you keep your clothing, especially your socks, I'm going to share another quote with you from James Clear. He says, "Too often we fall into an all or nothing cycle with our habits. The problem is not slipping up. The problem is thinking that if you can't do something perfectly, then you shouldn't do it at all." So again, here I want to encourage you that we are not here to perfectly declutter your house. We are here to make little baby steps of progress. So meet me wherever you store your clothes, and we are going to go through unmatched socks. I'm going to set the timer here for 1 minute. And let's see if I can think of enough things to talk about for a minute about socks. This will be a challenge for me too while you're decluttering your unmatched socks. So maybe your socks are in a drawer in your bedroom. Maybe I keep mine in my nightstand actually, randomly enough, but that's just where they happen to fit. So maybe your socks are in a drawer somewhere in your bedroom. Maybe they're in a basket in your closet. Maybe your unmatched socks are in a basket in your laundry room where you were hoping that the stray ones would somehow magically find their mate. It is time to just dump out that whole basket. All of those stray socks, all of the unmatched socks. We're not keeping those anymore. That mate is never going to show up again. It got eaten in the dryer somehow, some way, and it is not coming back. And the same thing if you have socks with holes in them, or socks where they're itchy, or maybe the seam just kind of like hits you wrong, socks that you don't like to wear, they're too thick for your shoes, whatever. It's time to just ditch the socks that you are no longer using. And this is something that you might have to rewatch the video and go back through different areas in your house if you have other family members. But that was 1 minute on socks. I did it. I talked through 1 minute about socks, and good job. You also managed to declutter your socks for 1 minute. Okay, we are sticking on the theme of clothing now, and right now we are focused on clothes that have holes or stains. So here we go, 1 minute. And the reason that we're not trying to do all of your clothing at once is that can be really overwhelming depending on how much you have. So right now we are focused on finding clothes that have holes or stains, broken zippers, missing buttons. Maybe you thought you were going to mend it and it's been sitting over there in that basket for a year. You are not going to mend it, my friend. It is time to either donate that or throw it away depending on the condition of it. So we are getting rid of clothes that are completely worn out. Maybe the elastic is shot. Maybe there's like a hole somewhere and there's no way you're going to be able to fix it, or there's a stain and you just can't get it out. So clothing with holes, with stains, with broken zippers, with missing buttons, clothing items that are damaged in some way, and you're not going to be able to fix them, so we're just going to let them go. Even if you had the best intentions of fixing them, it's okay if you didn't get to it. Permission to let them go. Time to release all of that clothing. You are almost there, believe it or not, my friend. You have 5 seconds left to declutter your clothing that has holes, stains, or broken zippers, and that's the minute. So keep in mind, you can come back and watch this again if you have multiple family members and maybe all of the clothing items that I'm mentioning are in different areas of your house. You might not realistically get to that in 1 minute, and that's okay. You can come back and watch this again. Sticking with the theme of clothing, now we're going to go back through the clothing, but instead of looking for things that have holes and stains and broken pieces, now we're going to look for clothes that are still perfectly good, but you're not currently using them. Just trying to make some quick progress here to get you some wins. So 1 minute. Setting the timer, and I'm going to talk you through it. Meet me in your closet or by your dresser or wherever you keep your clothing. Maybe it's even like jackets in a hallway closet. We are going to pull out the things that are still perfectly good, but you are not using them. And you know the ones I'm talking about. You know that dress I'm talking about. It's still got the tag hanging on it. It's beautiful. It's hanging in your closet, but it's been in your closet for over 2 years and you're never going to wear it. So it is time to let that go. When my kids were little, I used to tell them to bless and release things. Like, they said, give it a kiss and a wish when they were getting rid of stuff and they were kind of like torn about whether to get rid of it, but they didn't really need it. I would say, give it a kiss and a wish. Like, make a wish that it will go to someone who's going to love it. Think about the person who's going to receive that item of clothing and is going to be so thrilled to get it. It can make it a little easier to let it go. So items of clothing that are still in really good condition, but you're just not wearing them. They don't fit or they still have the tags. We're going to clear those out of there and free up room for you and your current life. And that is 1 minute. Okay, while we are still in the closet area, we are going to talk about hangers. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and I'm going to walk you through it. Specifically, I want you to go in there and grab hangers that are broken. Anything that doesn't fit in your closet. Maybe it's like a big chunky plastic hanger that doesn't really fit very well on the closet rod. Maybe it's a big massive tangle of wire hangers on the floor in your closet. They've gotten all tangled up together. Maybe you have hangers from the dry cleaners. Those are not really high quality hangers, and so they tend to bend really easily under the weight of your clothes. Permission to pull all of those out and let them go. Do you have any hangers that no longer work? Like maybe they were for a skirt and the little clips don't work anymore. Something that you are not using. If you have like 72 extra hangers scattered throughout your closet, it's time to pull all of them out and let them go. And I know this is a little bit of a luxury, but I really enjoy having matching hangers. So if you're able to do that, to have your hangers matching, it will completely elevate the look and the feel of your closet. When you're in a position to do that, to buy like a pack of matching hangers from Costco or TJ Maxx or whatever, it's always fun to have that, to see them all the same. That's totally optional, but it's kind of a fun treat for yourself as a reward for decluttering. The last thing that we're going to declutter in your wardrobe is jewelry. And if you don't have jewelry, you can do some other kind of accessories like belts, scarves, handbags, things like that. But I'm going to start the timer for 1 minute. I'm going to talk about jewelry, but keep in mind you can do something else. Now, when it comes to jewelry, I am not encouraging you to get rid of heirloom pieces or anything that's really valuable. Obviously not. We're not going to throw that in the garbage or give it away. But I'm talking about just your run-of-the-mill, like daily jewelry that you wear to mix and match with outfits. So maybe you bought a necklace for a specific dress, the dress no longer fits, or you've donated the dress, it's time to let go of the necklace as well. Ditto for scarves and handbags and anything that you bought for a specific outfit. If you no longer have the outfit, you don't need to keep that accessory anymore either. If you have jewelry that is broken, it's definitely time to get rid of it. Earrings that are missing their pair, it's time to get rid of them if they're missing their match. Earrings that are maybe just too heavy on your ears, a necklace where the clasp doesn't work, maybe you have jewelry that's out of style or you don't like the color or it's tarnished or the tone of the jewelry doesn't look good with your skin tone, whatever the case may be. If you have jewelry that you're not wearing, permission to let it go. And that was your minute. So now that we've done the bathroom and the bedroom or closet area, it's time to move on to a new area, which is the kitchen. While you are heading to the kitchen, I'm going to share another quote with you. And this one is actually from another YouTuber. Her name is Marissa over at A to Zen Life. And she says, don't put your stuff on a pedestal above your own mental health and happiness. So obviously I'm not advocating for you to be wasteful at all, but I think that sometimes we get so caught up in the idea or in the worry that we're being wasteful that we don't allow ourselves permission to let go of the things that are no longer serving us. And that's especially true in the kitchen. So as we head into the kitchen, just remember we are prioritizing your mental health and happiness above the stuff. You are more important than the stuff. And I know none of us wants to be wasteful, but keep in mind that your well-being is also a precious natural resource. The first thing that we're going to work on in the kitchen is coffee mugs. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and I'm going to talk you through it. And keep in mind, if you don't have something in this category, then you are welcome to work on a different category. So maybe you don't have coffee mugs, but you've got a ton of water bottles, then you can work on water bottles instead. But when it comes to coffee mugs, I have found that most people have way too many. I don't know how this happens. I think that people gift them to us. It's a really common gift for birthdays and holidays and things to give someone a mug with candy in it, or a mug with a stuffed animal in it, or a mug with a balloon tied onto it. I don't know. I don't know where they all come from, but we all end up with this superfluous amount of mugs in our cabinet. A lot of times they're mismatched. Maybe they're chipped. Maybe we never liked them in the first place. Permission to let all of them go. I like to have all my mugs one color. I only have 4 of them. That's what works for me, but you know the number that you need. Permission to let the rest of them go. Even if you've gotten through this whole minute and you've only let 1 go, that is progress, my friend. Decluttering 1 thing is progress, and we are celebrating it today because you are doing this, and that's 1 minute. Okay, staying in the kitchen, we've got a minute now for Tupperware. I'm going to talk you through it. Here we go. Tupperware. We are going to go to wherever you keep your containers that you would put leftovers in. Maybe it's Tupperware, maybe it's Rubbermaid, maybe it's some other brand, but you know what I mean when I say Tupperware. So we are pulling stuff out that is like those plasticky containers that have lids. I'm not anti-plastic, so I'm not saying get rid of it because it's plastic. Keep whatever you are using. If you are using it and it is in good repair and you know where the lid is, then great. But if you have a whole bunch of bottom pieces and a whole bunch of tops and none of them match, then you can just start fresh. Get rid of all of them because no matter how long you leave them in your cupboard, they're never going to match up again. And in this category, you might have other things like empty food containers. Maybe it was a container that used to hold Cool Whip or butter or something like that, and you kept the container, or an empty jar from your spaghetti sauce or whatever, and you've got all that in there and you think that you're going to use it to store food. Permission to let that stuff go. It's time to clear it out. You probably have way too much. There's the minute. So keep in mind, you can come back and watch this again. It's okay if you didn't get very far. If you got rid of 1 thing, that's progress. Staying in the kitchen, the next thing that we are going to declutter is takeout items. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and I'm going to talk you through it. We are talking about condiment packets. Do you have little packages of soy sauce or ketchup in your drawer somewhere in the kitchen? Throw them away. They expire. They're no longer good. And take it from me, you don't want to keep them in your drawer because if something hits them and they explode in your drawer, it is a big old mess and it is no fun to clean up. You probably have ketchup in your fridge and you don't need those little packets. I know you don't want to be wasteful, but The way to not be wasteful is to use it right when you get it, and then if you don't use it, you can toss it. Same thing with the little plastic sleeves that have like the napkin and the utensils in them. You don't need a drawer full of those in your kitchen. You don't need takeout menus in your kitchen. You don't need the little wadded up napkins that were in the bottom of the bag when you got takeout or DoorDash or whatever. Stuff that came from a restaurant. You don't need it. Maybe it's like a little flyer with a coupon on it. Maybe it is a takeout menu. Maybe it's a package of soy sauce or the lid from the container that they brought the food to you in when you got the takeout thing at the restaurant. Time to let it go. There's the 1 minute. The next thing that we're going to be working on in the kitchen is bags. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and we're going to go through your grocery bags. So here we go. So when it comes to grocery bags, we are talking about both your reusable grocery bags and your plastic bags. Maybe you used to have that one of those things that we all had where you stored all your plastic grocery bags and that was somewhere under your sink or in your kitchen and you just have still a ton of plastic bags. Permission to let those go, take those, recycle them, whatever you're going to do, but get them out of your kitchen. And then the same thing for your reusable grocery bags, permission to let those go. You probably have way too many. I know reusable grocery bags are really good. We want to reuse them. We don't want to use as much plastic. I get it. But what happens is that we bring them home, we leave them at home, we go to the grocery store, we forget we had them at home, and so we buy some more. And pretty soon we have like 25 bags. You don't need 25 bags. You need what, a handful, 3, 5? You know how many you need better than I do, but just keep the number that you need. And I would suggest maybe not even keeping them in the kitchen. Keep them in your car or in your purse or whatever you take shopping with you. And then you don't even have them cluttering up space in your kitchen. So there's 1 minute on bags. The last kitchen area that we're going to declutter is cleaning supplies. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and we're going to get started. Now, keep in mind, we are decluttering, not cleaning. So I'm not asking you to go get these to clean anything with them. We are just going through the actual cleaning supplies to see what you no longer need. A lot of people keep these under the sink in their kitchen. Maybe they're somewhere else in your house, in the laundry room or wherever. That's fine. Just go grab some cleaning supplies and we're going to look through them and make some really quick decisions to get rid of stuff. Do you have multiples of the same thing that maybe you can combine into one bottle? Do you have bottles or jars of cleaning supplies that are now completely empty and for some reason you still have the container? It's time to let that go. Do you have maybe a roll of paper towels that got wet and now it's all gross? It's time to let that go. Do you have some nasty old sponge in there that has seen better days? It's definitely time to ditch that. Same thing for like scrub brushes and all of those types of things. It's time to let them go if they've seen better days, especially if you have multiples of them. Like if you have a whole bunch of cleaning sponges, how many do you really need, right? It's okay to let go of the extras. We are getting rid of cleaning supplies. That was your minute. Okay, so hopefully you are able to see now some progress that you have made in the kitchen, and hopefully your garbage bag is getting full and you're able to feel that sense of accomplishment. We only have one area left and we're going to do some 1 minute declutters in this area. Now, it might be a different area depending on how your house is laid out. For some people, it's going to be the living room. For some people, it's going to be family room or office or whatever. But we are going to start with wherever you have boxes from packages that you've gotten in the mail. So you know the ones, the Amazon packages or the shipments that you've gotten recently in the mail. Where are the boxes? That's where I want you to go. I'm going to set the timer 1 minute and here we go. And keep in mind, if you don't have anything in this category, just feel free to declutter something else while I'm talking to you, but this is just about keeping you on track and keeping you decluttering for 1 minute while we move to something else. Okay, we are going to find where your packages are. Are they by the front door? Are they in the office? Are they on the living room floor? Do you have boxes? Maybe they're in the garage. Boxes that need to be broken down, and we're going to get those out of there. So this is boxes, packing material, like the little bubble wrap that stuff comes in, or packing paper, all those types of things. It is amazing to me how much space that stuff takes up and how quickly it piles up. So we are decluttering these items right now, getting them out of your house, freeing up that space, and you're going to feel so much better just getting that corner, wherever these boxes are, getting that corner kind of narrowed down a little bit. And again, it's okay if you don't get them all done in 1 minute because a lot of people have lots of boxes, but if you can just break down one box in this 1 minute, then you're doing great. You're doing great. There's the 1 minute. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is instruction manuals and catalogs. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. Now, we live in a day and age where when you buy something, you do not need to keep the instruction manual anymore because you can get all of that information online. So if you have a pile of instruction manuals somewhere, it's time to go grab it and we are going to ditch them. At the very least, I want you to go through it and figure out what you do and don't need anymore. But again, spoiler alert, you probably don't need any of them. We're just doing these quick decisions. We're going to do this in 1 minute. We're ditching the instruction manuals. If you have them all together in a drawer, that's awesome. That makes it super easy. If you have them scattered throughout the house, this is progress, not perfection. So I want you to go find one instruction manual and throw it out. Again, you don't have to be perfect about this. We're just making some quick decisions and we are lightening your load. That's the whole purpose of this video, is to just help you get into action and help you feel like you have made some progress. So instruction manuals, they don't belong in your house. They take up a lot of space and they're just really unnecessary in this day and age. Same thing for catalogs. You don't need the catalog. You can see it online. And that is 1 minute. The next category that we are going to declutter is office supplies. I'm going to talk you through it. And again, I don't expect you to do everything in 1 minute, and that is okay. We're just getting started. So I'm setting the timer 1 minute, and I'm specifically talking about pens that don't write anymore, markers that have dried out, crayons or colored pencils or pencils that are broken. If you have like random loose staples everywhere, they fell out of the box and all the staples are loose, you're never going to get those back into your stapler, so just throw away all the staples. Do you have random paper clips scattered everywhere? Throw those away too. You're never going to need them. I promise you're not going to need them. So just get rid of the paper clips. Ditto for rubber bands. We keep so many office supplies laying around because we think just in case. We think we just might need them. And you don't really need that many. You can probably fit all of the office supplies that you need in one little container or one little drawer, but chances are you have them scattered all over your house. So just go to one section that has any sort of writing utensils like pens and markers and things like that. Try to write with a few of them, and if they don't write, just toss them out. We're just decluttering. We're getting rid of a few things at a time, 1 minute at a time, and that is your 1 minute. The next thing that we are going to do is paper clutter. This is a huge category, so I don't expect you to do it all in 1 minute, but I want you to keep in mind the rule that the minimalists use, which is spontaneous combustion. And that means if you looked at this item and all of a sudden it went up in flames, would you replace it? And if the answer is no, then it's okay to let it go. So think about that as you look for paper clutter in your house, and we can start small. Maybe start with your pile of mail. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and talk you through it. Okay, so look at that pile of mail that you have there on the counter or on the table, and we're going to just go through it and we're going to quickly grab out the junk mail. Do you have flyers that came in the mail? Do you have door hangers that people left on your door? Someone left like some random neighborhood directory on my door the other day. I don't need that. I can get it online, so I tossed it. Maybe there's like a catalog that was left on your door, or maybe there's like a stack of coupons or a coupon book. Chances are you're never going to remember that you had the coupon when you go to buy the thing, even if you do go to buy the thing, but you're probably never going to buy the thing. So just get rid of the coupons. All the junk mail, the coupons, the flyers, the catalogs, the mailers, all of that stuff that comes into your house, it just creeps in, it multiplies, and we are spending 1 minute getting rid of as much of it as we can. Remember, you can come back and watch this. If you don't get it all finished, that's okay. But you are making progress, my friend. Progress, not perfection. You're doing so great. I'm so proud of you for making it this far. And after this minute, we only have 1 minute left. There's your minute. Great job on the piles of paper and junk mail. This is the last category we're going to do, and I'm so proud of you for making it this far. We are going to do 1 minute of decluttering mystery remotes and mystery cords. Here we go. I'm going to talk you through it. So, mystery remotes. For some reason, we end up with these baskets or drawers of remote controls of all these things that we used to own. And now we don't even have the thing anymore, but we still have the remote. I don't know how it happens, but maybe you have like a remote control for a DVD player or a CD player that you used to have a long time ago. Maybe you have a remote control for a TV that you no longer own, or a ceiling fan that was in a house that you sold and now you still have the remote for that ceiling fan. Like it's madness. I don't know how we end up with so many remote controls. But if you have a basket or a drawer of remote controls and you don't know what they go to, permission to just throw them all away. Get the remote controls out of there. You don't need them. You're never going to find the thing that they went to, and you can just let them go. Ditto for cords. If you have a bunch of cords and you don't know what they go to, and it's not like a charger that you're using all the time for something, then permission to let it go. So we're going to declutter remote controls and cords, all those mystery remotes, mystery electronics. We don't know what they go to. We're never going to find the thing anyway. It's time to let it go. And there's your 1 minute. If you have made it to this point in the video, I want you to know I am so super proud of you. Please comment the word atomic for Atomic Habits, so that I will know that you made it to the end of this, and I will personally congratulate you for making it through this speed decluttering session. If you didn't get finished with any of these categories, again, that's okay, because this wasn't the point. It wasn't the point to get finished. You are welcome to play this again as many times as you need to and make another pass and another pass, going back through your house and substituting categories if I mentioned something that you actually don't have a clutter problem with. Like maybe you don't have a lot of junk mail. That's awesome. Maybe you have clutter in some other area. Don't forget to comment Atomic so I can congratulate you and celebrate you. And if you liked this video, be sure to check out this video right here. I'll meet you there.